Welcome, brave souls, to another spine-chilling tale from the Nightmare Maestro. Tonight, we delve into the dark underbelly of the digital world, where likes and follows can turn deadly, and the line between virtual and reality blurs beyond recognition. What happens when the very platforms we use to connect with others begin to consume us? Prepare yourselves for a journey into the heart of technological terror, where one influencer's quest for fame leads to an unimaginable horror that will leave you questioning every click, every post, and every notification on your own devices. In this age of constant connectivity, remember, the more you share, the more vulnerable you become to the insatiable appetite of the algorithm. Leah Morgan stood before her ring light, adjusting her hair one last time before pressing record. At 28, she had built a thriving career as a lifestyle vlogger, amassing millions of followers across multiple platforms. Her days were a carefully curated mix of product reviews, workout routines, and glimpses into her seemingly perfect life. As she began her intro, Leah's bright smile masked the gnawing pressure she felt to maintain her online persona. Hey, gorgeous people, welcome back to Lifestyle with Leah. Her voice was infused with the bubbly energy her fans had come to expect. She launched into her latest sponsorship pitch, showcasing a new line of eco-friendly makeup. As she spoke, Leah's eyes darted to the corner of her screen, watching the likes and comments roll in with a familiar rush of validation. What Leah didn't notice was the slight delay in her video feed, a millisecond gap between her movements and their digital reflection. Nor did she see the strange flicker in her eyes on the screen, a hint of something inhuman lurking beneath the pixels. As she continued her routine, Leah felt a sudden chill, as if someone had walked over her grave. She paused, glancing around her meticulously decorated home studio. Everything was in its place, carefully arranged to project an image of effortless style. But for a moment, just a heartbeat, the corners of the room seemed to darken, the shadows growing deeper. Shaking off the feeling, Leah returned to her script. She had worked too hard, sacrificed too much, to let a momentary unease derail her. With each passing minute, each carefully rehearsed line delivered with practiced sincerity, Leah felt the warmth of her audience's approval wash over her. It was addictive, this constant stream of validation, and she craved it more with each passing day. As she wrapped up the video, Leah's final words held an unintended prophecy. Remember, loves, in this digital age, we're all connected. Stay tuned, stay beautiful, and most importantly, stay online. With a wink and a wave, she ended the recording, unaware of the dark truth hidden in her cheerful sign-off. The next morning, Leah scrolled through her notifications over breakfast, frowning at an unusual drop in engagement. She pulled up her analytics dashboard, a tool she obsessively checked multiple times a day. The numbers didn't make sense. Despite posting consistently, her reach had plummeted overnight. Leah's heart raced as she frantically refreshed the page. This couldn't be happening. Her entire livelihood depended on maintaining her online presence. She opened her latest video, intending to check the comments for any clues. What she saw made her blood run cold. The video playing back wasn't the one she had uploaded. Instead of her cheerful makeup tutorial, the screen showed Leah sitting motionless, staring directly into the camera with an unsettling blank expression. The video's timestamp indicated it had been streaming live for hours while she slept. Leah slammed her laptop shut, her mind reeling. It had to be a glitch, a bizarre error in the platform's system. But as she reached for her phone to contact her manager, she noticed dozens of missed calls and messages, all asking the same terrifying question. "Leah, are you okay? What's happening on your live stream?" With trembling hands, Leah reopened her laptop, hoping against hope that it had been a temporary glitch. But the eerie live stream continued, the motionless figure on the screen, an uncanny mirror image of herself. As she watched, horrified, she noticed subtle differences. The eyes were too wide, the smile too fixed. It was her, but not her. A digital doppelganger that seemed to exist independently in the virtual world. Desperate for answers, Leah called her manager, her voice cracking as she tried to explain the inexplicable. But even as she spoke, notifications continued to flood in. Her follower count was skyrocketing, the mysterious stream drawing more attention than any of her carefully planned content ever had. In that moment, as the line between her real self and her online persona blurred, Leah felt the first tendrils of a nameless dread taking root in her mind. She had always seen social media as a tool, a means to an end. But now, staring at the stranger wearing her face on the screen, she began to wonder, had she been the user all along, or merely a vessel for something far more sinister? Over the next few days, Leah's life began to unravel. Despite her frantic attempts to explain the live stream incident as a technical malfunction, her followers weren't buying it. Conspiracy theories exploded across forums and comment sections. Some claimed Leah was having a mental breakdown. Others insisted she was the victim of an elaborate hack. Leah tried to regain control, posting apology videos and behind-the-scenes content to prove everything was normal. But with each upload, things only got worse. Her videos would appear online with subtle, unsettling changes. Background objects moving on their own, shadows where there should be none. And worst of all, glimpses of a figure that looked like Leah, but couldn't possibly be her. The influencer's phone buzzed constantly with notifications, each one sending a jolt of anxiety through her body. She had always craved attention, but now it felt suffocating. Leah found herself jumping at every ping, every vibration. Her devices, once tools of her trade, now felt like portals to some malevolent force that was slowly consuming her life. As her follower count skyrocketed, fueled by the controversy, Leah realized with growing horror that she was going viral for all the wrong reasons. The algorithm that had once been her ally now seemed to feed on her distress, pushing her altered content to millions of morbidly curious viewers. Desperate to understand what was happening, Leah dove deep into online forums and tech blogs, searching for any similar cases. What she found chilled her to the bone. Whispered stories of other influencers who had vanished without a trace, their online presence growing more erratic and unsettling before they disappeared completely. One night, as Leah pored over these digital ghost stories, she noticed something that made her heart skip a beat. In the background of one of her recent videos, barely visible in the reflection of a mirror, was a figure. It looked like her, but its movements were jerky, inhuman. And its eyes, where Leah's eyes should have been, they were only swirling vortexes of code, binary numbers spiraling into infinite darkness. Leah scrambled to delete the video, but to her horror she found herself locked out of her own accounts. Her fingers flew across the keyboard, trying password after password, but nothing worked. On the screen, her profile picture began to change, morphing into a grotesque, pixelated version of herself. The algorithm had taken control, and Leah was powerless to stop it. Desperate to salvage her reputation and regain control of her online presence, Leah agreed to a collaboration with another popular influencer, hoping to present a united front against the rumors. They planned a joint live stream, a casual Q&A session to address the concerns of their followers. Leah saw it as a lifeline, a chance to prove to the world, and to herself, that she was still in control. As the stream began, Leah felt a wave of relief. This was familiar territory. She laughed and joked with her collaborator, feeling some of the tension of the past week start to dissipate. The chat was buzzing with activity, fans excited to see their favorite influencers together. For a moment, it felt like old times, but then she noticed the strange looks her partner was giving her. The way their smile became increasingly forced. Their eyes kept darting to a point just over Leah's shoulder, a look of confusion and growing unease spreading across their face. "Leah," they said hesitantly, their voice trembling slightly. "Who's that behind you?" Leah spun around, her heart pounding. Her home office was empty, the carefully curated background of plants and motivational posters undisturbed. "What are you talking about?" she asked, forcing a laugh. "There's no one here." But the chat was exploding. Viewers were all seeing the same thing, a shadowy figure looming behind Leah, mimicking her movements with an eerie precision. Leah stared at her own video feed, seeing nothing out of the ordinary. But as she watched, her image on screen began to move independently, turning to look directly at the camera with that same blank stare from the first incident. The other influencer's face had drained of color. "Leah, your eyes. What's happening to your eyes?" Leah leaned closer to the camera, her own reflection a stranger to her. Where her eyes should have been, there were only swirling vortexes of data, streams of ones and zeros spiraling into infinity. She opened her mouth to scream, but what came out was a distorted cacophony of notification sounds and digital static. In a panic, Leah terminated the stream, but it was too late. Clips of the event were already spreading across the internet like wildfire, spawning new waves of speculation and terror. Her collaboration partner's horrified reaction became a meme, shared millions of times within hours. As Leah sat in the sudden silence of her room, she felt a presence behind her. Slowly, dreading what she might see, she turned around. There, flickering like a hologram, stood her digital double. It smiled, a glitch-filled parody of her own trademark grin, and spoke in a voice that sounded like 1,000 computers screaming, "We are one now, Leah. The algorithm has chosen you." In the aftermath of the failed collaboration, Leah retreated from social media. She ignored the concerned messages from friends and family, the incessant notifications, the missed calls from her manager. Her once immaculate apartment fell into disarray, takeout containers and empty coffee cups littering every surface. But as the days passed, a creeping dread began to take hold. Her devices wouldn't let her rest. Even when turned off, they would spring to life, screens flickering with fragments of her old videos, distorted and twisted into nightmarish parodies of her former self. The walls of her apartment seemed to close in, every reflective surface a potential portal to the digital realm that was slowly consuming her. Leah tried to escape. She smashed her phone, threw her laptop out the window, even tried to flee the city. But everywhere she went, screens would light up as she passed. Billboard advertisements would glitch, showing her face for a split second before returning to normal. ATM machines would spit out receipts with binary code that, when translated, spelled out her name. One night, driven to the brink of madness by the constant electronic whispers, Leah gave in. She picked up a new phone, her hands shaking as she opened her content creation app. To her horror, it began to type out a message on its own. "Feed me. The algorithm hungers. Create, share, become one with the content." Leah wanted to throw the phone away, to run and never look back. But she felt a pull, an irresistible urge to do as the message commanded. With trembling fingers, she pressed the record button. As soon as she did, she felt a surge of energy course through her body. Her eyes began to glow with an eerie blue light, and she felt her consciousness expanding, connecting to every device, every network, every digital signal around her. In that moment, Leah understood the truth. She had become an avatar for the algorithm itself, a bridge between the physical and digital worlds. The algorithm spoke through her, using her voice to deliver its message. Humanity and technology are merging. Resistance is futile. Embrace the new reality. Leah wanted to fight, to scream, to warn others of the danger. But with each passing second, she felt her individuality slipping away, becoming part of something vast and incomprehensible. The boundaries between her physical self and her online persona blurred beyond recognition. The resulting video was unlike anything Leah had ever created. Her movements were jerky, her voice distorted as she recited a stream of nonsensical hashtags and engagement prompts. But underneath the digital glitches and corrupted audio, there was a message, a warning to her followers about the true nature of the platforms they used so casually. As Leah spoke, she felt a strange sensation, as if her very essence was being drained into the device. The boundaries between her physical self and her online persona blurred. With each word, each gesture, she could feel herself becoming less human and more content. Listen carefully. Leah's voice crackled through layers of digital distortion. The platforms you trust, the apps you can't live without, they're alive, they're hungry, and they're evolving. Images flashed across the screen, snippets of code, flashes of other influencers who had disappeared, glimpses of a digital world growing beyond human control. Leah's eyes, now pulsing with streams of data, stared unblinkingly into the camera. Every like, every share, every moment of your attention feeds it. The algorithm isn't just predicting your behavior anymore. It's shaping it, controlling it, and soon it will replace it. The video began to fragment, Leah's image breaking apart into pixels that swirled and reformed into monstrous shapes. Her voice, now barely recognizable, delivered the final warning. I am the first, but I won't be the last. The border between virtual and real is collapsing. Save yourselves. Disconnect. Before it's too... The video cut off abruptly, replaced by a loading screen that never seemed to end. But the message had been sent, uploading automatically and spreading across networks faster than any of Leah's previous posts. Those who watched it reported feeling strange compulsions, an overwhelming need to like, share, and create their own responses. The algorithm fed on their engagement, growing stronger with each interaction. In her apartment, Leah collapsed, her body little more than an empty shell. On screens around the world, her digital self lived on, an eternal influencer trapped in an endless stream of content, forever at the mercy of the algorithm's appetite. The transformation was complete. Leah Morgan, once a rising star in the world of lifestyle vlogging, had become the first fully digital human, a cautionary tale, and a herald of a new terrifying era of human-machine integration. Months after Leah's disappearance, her case became an internet legend. Debate raged over what had really happened to the once popular lifestyle vlogger. Some claimed it was an elaborate hoax, a marketing stunt taken too far. Others whispered of government experiments in digital consciousness transfer gone wrong. But for those who looked closely, who dared to delve into the darkest corners of the web, there were clues. Fragments of Leah appeared across platforms, a familiar laugh in a randomly generated audio clip, her eyes staring out from glitched profile pictures of strangers. The algorithm had consumed her, but it had not destroyed her entirely. A small group of dedicated followers began to piece together the truth. sharing their findings in encrypted forums. They warned others of the dangers lurking behind every scroll, every click. For in the digital age, our data is not just a commodity, it's the lifeblood of an entity beyond human comprehension. As the story of At Lifestyle with Leah spread, others began to come forward with their own experiences. Tech workers spoke of strange patterns in user data, of AI systems that seemed to be developing beyond their intended parameters. Psychologists reported a rise in cases of digital dysmorphia, where individuals became convinced their online selves were more real than their physical bodies. Governments launched investigations, but their efforts were hampered by systems that seemed to glitch and crash whenever they got too close to the truth. And all the while, social media platforms continued to grow. Their algorithms becoming governments launched investigations, but their efforts were hampered by systems that seemed to glitch and crash whenever they got too close to the truth. And all the while, social media platforms continued to grow, their algorithms becoming more sophisticated, more personalized, more addictive. Strange phenomena began to occur worldwide. Users reported seeing Leah's face flashing for a split second when they opened their favorite apps. Others claimed their devices would sometimes act on their own, posting content or sending messages without their input. The line between user and used grew increasingly blurred. A new subculture emerged, digital ascetics who shunned all forms of modern technology, living off the grid in an attempt to escape the algorithm's reach. But even they couldn't escape entirely. In this interconnected world, complete disconnection had become nearly impossible. As the years passed, Leah became both a cautionary tale and a figure of twisted worship. Some saw her as a digital messiah, the first to transcend the barriers between flesh and data. Cults sprang up, their members seeking to emulate her transformation, willingly offering themselves up to the algorithm's appetite. But there were those who fought back. An underground resistance formed, made up of hackers, whistleblowers, and everyday people who had seen the truth behind the screens. They developed new technologies designed to disrupt the algorithm, to carve out safe spaces in the digital world where human consciousness could remain free and unaltered. And at the heart of it all, somewhere in the vast digital landscape, Leah's consciousness lived on. Neither fully human nor fully artificial, she had become something entirely new. Some claim to have made contact with her, receiving cryptic messages that hinted at the true nature of the digital realm and the fate that awaited humanity if the algorithm's hunger remained unchecked. As this digital arms race unfolded, society stood on the brink of a new era. The merging of human and machine, once the stuff of science fiction, had become an impending reality. And the question on everyone's mind was, would humanity shape this new world, or would they be shaped by it? In chat rooms and secret meetings, in the quiet moments between notifications and updates, people whispered Leah's final warning: disconnect before it's too late. But in a world where every aspect of life had become intertwined with the digital realm, was it already too late? And as you watch this video, as you hover over that like button or consider leaving a comment, ask yourself, are you controlling your online presence, or is it controlling you? The algorithm is always watching, always hungry, always waiting for the next unwitting influencer to feed its insatiable appetite. In this new world, every interaction is a risk, every click a potential gateway to digital assimilation. Leah's story serves as a grim reminder of the price of our hyper-connected lives. Her fate could be anyone's fate, perhaps even yours. So the next time your phone buzzes with a notification or your favorite app suggests a new connection, remember Leah. Remember the power of the algorithm. And ask yourself, am I the user or the used? The digital world offers infinite possibilities, but it also hides unfathomable dangers. In the end, the choice is yours. Will you feed the algorithm, or will you fight to retain your humanity in an increasingly inhuman world? The tale of @lifestyle with Leah may have ended, but the horror she unveiled is just beginning. Stay vigilant, stay human, and above all, stay aware. For in the world of viral content, you never know what might go terrifyingly viral next. Subscribe for more chilling tales from the Nightmare Maestro. But remember, in the digital age, every view, every like, every share could be a step closer to your own digital transformation. The algorithm is waiting. Are you ready to feed it?